When I was just 11 years old, I was sent to a foster home. At that time, I was very thin and pale due to the way I had lived the last few months. I had been neglected and mistreated by my own mother. The constant abuse had caused me to hardly be able to sleep at night. As my life had been horrible, I felt scared of being taken to another house. If my own family treated me badly, how would people I didn't even know do it? But I had no choice. So when the woman opened the car door for me, I got out and walked with her to the porch of the house, where she rang the doorbell. When footsteps were heard coming from the other side of the door, I immediately felt much more nervous. Soon, I saw a woman in her 30s with short black hair and brown eyes opening the front door of the house. She smiled when she saw me. "Paul, she arrived. Come here, bring the kids." It seemed like they were a big family, which scared me. In an attempt to calm down, I hugged myself. Then the woman turned to see us again. "Hi, Ciara." She seemed pretty happy. "My name is Christina. I'm very happy to have you here." Christina looked at me with a smile that seemed genuine for a few more seconds before stepping aside to let us pass. "Please, come in." A few minutes later, Christina, the woman who brought me, and I were in the living room of the house. "As I was saying, we're very happy to have Ciara here. You see, Suddenly, through the open door of the living room, 4 people entered. A man, 2 girls, and a boy. The man smiled.
"Good morning."
He landed his gaze on me.
"You must be Ciara. It's nice to have another little princess in the house."
Although the man's words sounded sincere, I just looked at him nervously. "Let me introduce them to you, Ciara." Christina pointed at the man. "This is Paul, my husband." Then the woman pointed to the taller girl. "She is the kind Kelly." After that, she pointed to the other girl. "And she is the sweet Haley. They're sisters. Paul and I are looking out for them, just like we will for you, Ciara." Kelly smiled. "Hello, Ciara." Meanwhile, Haley waved at me. She seemed nervous. Perhaps she was a shy girl. In response, I made a small smile and waved at them, but my little joy vanished as soon as I saw the boy, who stared at me expressionlessly for a few seconds until a big smile spread across his face. After the woman who brought me left, Christine started showing me around the house. "It's here." She stopped in front of a door, so I did the same. When the woman opened it, I couldn't have been more surprised, since the bedroom was bigger and nicer than I could have imagined. "This will be your bedroom. As you can see, you'll have to share it with Kelly and Haley. Is that okay?" "Yes. Yes, Mrs. Brown. Thank you." "You're welcome. Now, Christina turned to go back the way we came, but suddenly stopped and was interrupted as her son was there, watching us. "Oh, hello, darling." The boy looked at his mother with an expressionless face. "Joshua?" I couldn't help but get nervous and uncomfortable with his presence. "Do you need to tell me something?" Soon, the boy's gaze focused on me.
"Can I be with Ciara?"
I didn't understand why he suddenly wanted to be with me, and neither did Christina, as she raised an eyebrow in confusion, but then smiled again. "Sure, while I cook her something." Joshua's mom walked away from the 2 of us, so we were face to face, looking at each other. "Have fun." I didn't know what to say, so I just kept quiet.
"Aren't you going to say anything?"
For some reason, his question struck me as threatening. Hi." Suddenly, the boy smiled, mischievously.
"My parents' bedroom is on the first floor, you know."
He pointed to the door next to my bedroom.
"That's my dad's office."
Then Joshua pointed to the end of the hall, in the opposite direction his mom had gone. It seemed like he just wanted to show me around, but then why was he acting so strange?
"And that?"
I turned and looked at what he was pointing at.
"It's my bedroom."
Okay.
Are you going to play with me?"
What?
"We'll play together, right?"
I guess." The boy's smile grew even bigger.
"Cool."
Suddenly, Joshua walked up to me and grabbed my arm. It was a firm hold, but he wasn't hurting me. In this way, he led me to the door of his father's office.
Come on.
Joshua opened the door and walked in, taking me with him. Once inside the office, he closed the door.
What are you doing?
I didn't get it. Why had he brought me here like this? It felt bad. As if that weren't enough, the boy ignored me. He soon walked over to his father's desk and opened one of the drawers, where he began to search for something. Meanwhile, I looked at him nervously.
Is it okay to rummage through your dad's stuff?
The boy didn't respond this time either. He got upset.
Where did he put it?
Joshua closed the drawer and opened the second, where he found what he was looking for. Or at least, that's what the fact that he smirked told me. He soon showed me the object.
I was looking for this. Do you know what it is?
A lighter?
Yes. My favorite toy.
Your favorite toy? Why? That's not...
I'll show you. We're gonna have fun.
Joshua walked over to me and grabbed my arm again. He took me to his bedroom. Once inside the place, which was much smaller than mine, I looked at it carefully. The first thing I noticed was the collection of video games he had, as well as the balls with which he could play different sports.
Your bedroom is nice.
Without turning to see me and looking for something on his chest of drawers, Joshua answered.
Not as much as yours.
His comment made me uncomfortable. After a few seconds, I could see that the boy had found what he was looking for, a notebook. Then he went to sit on the rug.
Come here.
Unsure, I sat on the rug across from him and watched as Joshua opened the notebook and ripped out 2 sheets of paper. The boy placed one of them on the ground next to him.
Watch this.
With a mischievous smile, the boy lit the lighter and held it close to the paper. Frightened, I watched as it slowly burned. In the past, I had been warned not to play with fire because it was dangerous. Hadn't they told him the same? When the paper was almost completely burned, Joshua blew on it to put out the fire and avoid getting burned.
Cool, right? It's your turn.
The boy took the other sheet of paper and held it out for me to grab. His goal was clear. He wanted me to do the same thing he had done.
I'm not doing it.
Why not?
It's not fun and it's not a toy. It's dangerous.
But you said you would play with me.
This is not a game.
Joshua, annoyed, grabbed one of my hands and forced me to take the paper.
I don't want to.
The boy then forced me to grab the lighter with my other hand.
Do it!
No!
You're just another dumb girl.
Joshua took the lighter from me and activated it. Then he brought it closer to my hand. Soon I felt a heat so strong that my skin could not bear it. He had burned me.
Ouch!
I dropped the paper and stepped away. He had done it on purpose.
You're bad!
His eyes filled with anger.
If you tell this to my parents, I'll make them hate you. Understand? They'll kick you out of the house and you'll rot outside.
His threat caused my eyes to fill with tears.
Okay.
At that moment, it was heard.
Ciara, where are you? The food is ready.
After I ate, Christina told me that I should go rest, so I walked to my new bedroom. When I got close to it, I realized that it was open. Kelly and Haley were playing in there. Nervous, I stood in the doorway. Would they treat me like Joshua? Soon, Kelly saw me.
Hey, don't be scared. This is your bedroom too, remember? Come here and play with us.
I didn't approach them.
We won't hurt you, Ciara.
In the end, I sighed and walked over to the sisters. After all, I couldn't avoid them forever. Once close to them, Kelly looked at me with concern.
You know, Joshua is a bit weird. You shouldn't play with him. He can hurt you.
What she didn't know was that he had already hurt me. Or maybe she told me that because she suspected it. Fortunately, the girls accepted me better than I could have imagined. In fact, we soon became very good friends. We did everything together. The 3 of us had a lot of fun, and for some reason, Joshua never came near us. But one night, a light in my eyes woke me up. The moment I realized who was in front of me, I panicked. Joshua was standing next to me with a paper torch in his hand and an expressionless face.
What are you doing?
Stupid girl. You come to my house and you ignore me? You don't even play with me? You're useless, like Kelly and Haley. You don't deserve to be here. I should...
Joshua, what are you doing? If you don't leave now, I'll tell your parents.
The boy looked at me for a few seconds, in which I remained frozen like a statue.
Stupid Kelly.
Once he was heard closing the door, Kelly spoke again.
What's wrong with him? I'm sorry, Ciara.
After that, the days passed until one in which Christina and Paul were notified of something important. Kelly and Haley could return to their father. That made me sad, but I was also happy for them, as they were excited to be back with him, who had been unable to care for them due to health issues. When it was time for the sisters to leave, we said goodbye to them on the porch of the house. I hugged Haley first, and then it was Kelly's turn.
Bye-bye, Ciara. Bye, Kelly. Goodbye, girls. We were very happy to have you here. Always remember that you are amazing girls. Thank you, Mrs. Brown.
We will always remember you girls.
We'll remember you too, Mr. Brown.
Sadly, I watched the two girls approach the car that was waiting for them. A few days later, one afternoon, while I was playing alone in my bedroom, I heard someone slowly open the door. The person soon entered the room and closed it. When I turned around, I saw Joshua, but since I wasn't at all interested in even talking to him, I turned around again and continued having fun with my toys.
What do you want?
There are no other kids here, so let's play together.
I can play alone.
You have to play with me.
I won't do it. I'm not playing with you. It doesn't matter if there are other children to play with or not. I don't want to, and I won't do it. You're weird and you hurt me, so don't bother me. I'm not scared of you anymore.
Really? Okay.
I thought he would go, but I was wrong. Joshua quickly walked over to me and grabbed my hair.
Ouch! What are you doing? Let go!
I tried to get the boy to let go of me, but my hair was so long that I couldn't reach his hand.
You come to my house, you eat my food, you steal my parents' attention, and you dare to treat me like this. You're a useless rat. You shouldn't be here. But you know what? I'll take care of getting you out.
What?
A bad feeling came over me.
I will play with you. It'll be very fun. Burn, Sierra.
Unfortunately, I realized what he had done once it was too late. The fire spread through my hair so fast that it soon reached my skull. I will never forget the pain of the fire melting my skin, nor the screams of suffering that came from my throat. I ended the paragraph by writing, "So I was in the hospital for many months. It's been quite difficult since then." Writing my experience on Reddit had felt good, especially since I knew that people who had been through similar situations would relate. It is always good to know that there is someone who understands you, especially having a trauma that has left such a big physical and mental scar.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the video. If so, please leave a like. And also, a small percentage of people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. If you want to support this channel and make this channel reach the 1 million mark, please consider subscribing. It's free and you can change your mind later. Enjoy.
My name is Skylar. When my mom left me at the doorstep of a church, it was evident my childhood was going to be hard. The church father handed me over to the system. I grew up in foster homes and got transferred from one to the other for all the wrong reasons. This happened at the time I went to a new foster home, which also happened to be my last one. I was 14 years old at the time when I was sent to live with a woman named Sarah Swindler. It was a sunny morning. I was watching the picture-perfect neighborhood from the car window, while Mr. Coleman drove me to my new foster parent. Upon reaching them, as we stopped the car in front of a white wooden house, the main door opened immediately. Sarah came out wearing a flowery dress. Instead of looking beautiful, she looked pretty weird because of the way she was smiling and staring at our car. Her glassy eyes, accompanied by red lips, made her look very creepy. Her blonde hair was tied in a bun, A big pink flower was attached to it. We walked to her porch and Mr. Coleman greeted her. "Good morning, Mrs. Swindler."
Morning, morning. Please, come in.
She looked at me and came close to my face. Flashing her crooked white teeth, she said in her shrill voice,
Welcome home, Skylar. We're going to have so much fun here.
I shook my head in awkwardness and she took us inside the house. We sat down on her couch and she sat next to Mr. Coleman.
Would you like some tea, Mr. Coleman?
"No, thank you. I have to rush. Can we get straight to the paperwork?"
Yes, of course.
Mr. Coleman took out a long envelope from his suit pocket. He gave his pen to Sarah and said, "I need your signatures on the letter. Sign here." Sarah signed immediately. Putting the envelope back inside his suit, Mr. Coleman said, "This is just a formality. Call me whenever you need."
Of course I will. Thank you so much. Would you like to say goodbye to your Uncle Coleman?
"Be a good boy. I will continue to visit you, okay?" "Yeah, okay."
Drive safe.
"Take care, you two." After Mr. Coleman left, Sarah took me to my room. I was happy to see how she decorated my room. It was perfect, more than I could have asked for. I freshened up and Sarah told me to come downstairs for dinner. We were eating quietly. I was surprised to see her cook so many delicious dishes for me. Everything was going fine until she grabbed a fried chicken leg and started chomping on it. The sound of the chicken getting crushed between her crooked teeth gave me anxiety. While eating the chicken loudly, she said,
Don't you just love chicken?
"Yeah, the food is good. What's your name?"
Sarah. But if you want to call me something, I prefer Mommy.
"But..."
I don't want to be your foster parent, Skylar. I can be your mom if you let me. I promise I will never force you to do things that you don't want to do.
"Okay. Can I call you Sarah for now?"
Aw, of course you can. Let's be friends first.
After dinner, I went straight to my room. I couldn't sleep thinking about the weird conversation that Sarah and I had at the dinner table. She wants me to call her Mom? One thing I was pretty sure that I was never going to call her was Mom, but I still tried my best to be friendly with her. One afternoon, I was mowing the lawn when I saw an old woman struggling to carry 2 heavy grocery bags standing on the sidewalk. Out of humanity, I went to help her. "Let me carry those for you."
Oh, thank you so much. You are a godsend. Are you new here?
"Yeah, I'm living with Sarah. She's my foster parent."
Sarah?
"Yeah, why do you look surprised?"
Nothing. I didn't know she was capable of such things now. Well, good for her.
I dropped her at her house, and on my way back, couldn't shrug off what the old lady said to me. I mean, I know Sarah is a little weird, but why did she look so shocked to hear about Sarah's foster parenting thing? I was closing the gate of the garden when Sarah spoke from behind.
Where were you?
Just helping the old lady down the street.
It'll be better if you don't get too close to her.
Why do you say that?
Because she's hated me from day one, and I don't even know why. I guess it's an old age thing, to be cranky of the young.
Even though she said it pretty casually, I could sense the nervousness in her voice. After lunch, Sarah gave me some pocket money and said,
Why don't you buy something for yourself? The mall is only a few blocks away. Take this as your homecoming gift.
Thanks. The weather was nice, so I happily agreed to go and check out the mall to pass my time. Sarah watched me leave, standing on the porch. I was walking to the mall, but my mind was still stuck on the words of that old lady. I was halfway there when a weird feeling set in. I wanted to find out more details, so I decided to talk to that lady. I turned back and started walking towards her house. When I reached there, I found the main door already open. A slight ray of light was coming from the gap in the main door. I set my foot in, and just then, I heard a loud thud upstairs, accompanied by a heated argument.
Don't you dare get in my way. I will cut you like an old pig, hag.
You must return to the institution.
No way I am going back to that madhouse. Are you crazy? People like you make me crazy.
Listen to me, Sarah. You need help. I'm sure the institution will let you see him if you agree to cooperate.
I don't need anyone's permission to see my son, and you know nothing about me.
I know you did something horrible. Otherwise, why would they separate you from your child?
I couldn't believe my ears. So, Sarah is... Just then, I heard a scream. It was the old lady. I ran upstairs at full speed, and as I opened the bedroom door, I saw Sarah strangling her. I will never forget her face from that moment. Her eyeballs were bloodshot in rage. She was grinding her crooked teeth while putting her entire strength onto the poor lady's neck. I don't know what happened to me. With trembling lips, I uttered, "Mom!" Sarah let the poor lady go and turned back. But this Sarah had a completely different face. Tears started to roll down her cheek, and she shook her head like a criminal. "If you are my mother, then why did you leave me?"
I didn't. I didn't want to leave you at the church door, but there was no other way.
The old lady lay unconscious on the floor while Sarah revealed the final truth.
I got pregnant when I was 16 years old. My strict Catholic parents sent me to this mental institution to hide me from society. They felt so ashamed, they didn't care that they sent their only child to that hellhole. I knew the people of the institution wouldn't let me keep you after your birth, so I decided the night you were born. I wrapped you up in a towel and sneaked you out of the building. I was almost near the gate when the guard saw me. Having no other option, I hit him on the head with a heavy rock. I guess the madness in that place did turn me a little crazy. But even though I got past the gate, I knew they would come for me with the cops. I knew I wouldn't make it very far. So I ran and finally saw this church. I dropped you there and then hid in the woods from the cops for 8 months. Once they stopped looking for me, I went back to the church, but you were gone. You were being sent to foster homes, like an orphan.
Then why didn't you meet me or try to get me back?
You're already staring at me like I'm some kind of psycho. You would have freaked out if I tried to approach you when you were a child.
I realized whatever she said was honest and true. I looked around and saw the old lady coming back to her senses. I looked at Sarah and said, "So, what do we do now? She'll call the cops as soon as she wakes up."
I don't want to go back there, Skylar. I just want a normal life.
I looked at my mother and saw how deeply she loved me. Maybe it was that long-awaited love that turned me a little crazy at that time. I wiped her tears off and said with determination, "We are going to be happy now. We're going to live a normal life now, I promise you." What happened next wasn't planned, but it happened anyway. Sarah and I put a pillow over that old lady and didn't flinch until her body stopped moving. We turned on all the gas lines and, on our way out, lit the house on fire. I'm glad no one saw us leaving that place, or things could have been much more difficult. I am happily living with my mother now. Mr. Coleman comes to visit me every month, but no one has the slightest idea of our dark secret. The old lady's death got ruled out as an accident. Her body was burnt to ashes along with the house. Everyone knows that she died in a house fire. I regret killing that old woman, but not everyone in this world gets what they want the easy way.